Hey guys, my name is Matsumo, and today I'm excited to say that some pretty big changes are happening to Rainbow Six Siege. We all sort of knew that this update was just around the corner, but I guess I just wasn't expecting it to be this large of an update. The first thing that I know a lot of people are going to be excited about is that Tachanka is finally getting an upgrade. He's pretty much becoming a stationary Blackbeard. The way that he now works is that, of course, he has his turrets, but on his turret, it has a gigantic face shield directly in front of it. This thing has 500 HP. So if you put this behind a deployable shield or you put this behind some sort of barrier and then you use the shield to block headshots, he's basically going to be immortal. In my opinion, this is exactly what Tachanka needed to finally be effective in Rainbow Six Siege. He's going to be able to lock down long corridors, he can just simply sit on the objective, and the enemy is now going to have to work around it, and it isn't just going to be a free kill. Some people are thinking that he might be a little bit too powerful now. 500 HP is significant, but he does have his counters. Probably his biggest counter is Capitão's incendiary arrow. If you're able to launch that arrow at his shield, it's going to burn him before he's able to jump out. Like, that thing kills very quickly. And because the Capitão doesn't, of course, need to shoot through the shield, he just needs to get it somewhere near the Tachanka, that is, of course, going to be the best way of taking him out. Grenades are also going to be a great way at handling things. Of course, Jaeger's trophy system will be able to stop that a bit, but probably one of the best ways of dealing with him is now Fuze. Fuze got one of the biggest unexpected upgrades with this patch. Not only does he now have 3 cluster charges, going from 2 to 3, but his gadget now is going to have a larger explosive radius. Before in the past, the way that his grenades worked is that they either did 100% damage, they were always lethal, or they did no damage whatsoever. So within 2.5 meters and closer, if you were near the blast radius, you would always die with that grenade. The result of this is that a lot of the times he would never get a kill with it or never do any damage against the enemy. That is now going to be changing. So within 2.5 meters, it is still going to be lethal. You will always die if you were that close to a cluster charge, but within 4.2 meters and 2.5 meters, it's now going to do splash damage. This is a massive upgrade. So on top of the fact that he now gets one more cluster charge, they now just simply have a larger blast radius. And so not only is this going to be a great way at countering the new and improved Tachanka, but it's also going to be amazing at clearing out rooms. If the enemy is entrenched around the objective and you're having a hard time pushing on in, we'll just blow a bunch of cluster charges and make them react to you. Push them away so that you can then hopefully take advantage of that situation. I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot more Fuzes in the future. I have a suspicion that we're also going to see a lot more dead hostages in the future as well. One thing I was not expecting at all with this patch, though, is that Blackbeard is getting nerfed hard. Really hard. The way that it worked in the past was that he could place those face shields on his weapon and they would absorb 150 HP. This would allow you to win pretty much any firefight that you came across as long as you played it right, as long as you were halfway decent, and it made him a really strong operator on offense. Now, though, that shield has been dropped down to 60 HP, only allowing him to absorb about 1 to 2 bullets depending on the circumstance, and it also is going to take him longer to aim down sight so he can't rambo around and be ultra aggressive. Wow, this is a big nerf. Like, I kind of was expecting maybe a slight tweak to Blackbeard, because apparently in the Pro League, he has a 100% pick rate. 100% pick rate kind of indicates to the developers that this guy might be a little bit too powerful, but I guess I just wasn't expecting them to go on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where now it's hard to really tell if this guy is going to be useful at all. I have a suspicion that his pick rate is going to plummet, almost to the point where I don't think a lot of people are even going to touch him anymore, because the main benefit that he provided to the team was to get kills reliably, and getting kills reliably isn't going to be really a thing anymore. 1 or 2 bullets to take out that shield is not a lot of wiggle room, and while some people argue that those 2 bullets would have killed any other operator, once his shields are gone, like, that's it for Blackbeard. He doesn't provide anything else to his team. He's all about getting kills. He doesn't have a supportive gadget. He doesn't have a thermite charge. He doesn't have an EMP grenade. And so once those things are gone, he's pretty much going to be a neutered class. And so while one part of me is glad to see that Blackbeard got a nerf, because it's pretty annoying to fight against this guy constantly every single round, the other part of me realizes that they may have gone a bit too far with this. This is a pretty severe change. I mean, not only the fact that his shield breaks faster, but also because he can't aim down sight as quickly as well. And so I have a feeling that after this patch, after a couple of weeks, they're going to realize that they may have nerfed him too much. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe he will be in the right spot. But the patch after this, they may buff him up somewhere in between what they have right now and what it was before. One thing that a lot of shield players are going to be thrilled by with this is that the shield operators are now going to be taking significantly less damage against explosive devices. If you're playing as Montagna, for example, and you're fully extended, if a C4 plops down at your feet and you're facing the explosion, that's the key component. The shield needs to be facing the explosive device. When the thing goes off, he's almost going to be taking no damage. This is going to be a game changer on certain maps. I know a lot of the shield players out there are probably rejoicing right now, and while you do have your weaknesses, if they throw the C4 behind you, it will still one-shot you. You need to be facing the explosion when it happens, but now the most reliable and effective way at taking out a shield operator is to either hit at their limbs, like their arm, their pistol arm, or to try to get a lucky headshot when they do aim down sight. Like, it is really going to have a dramatic impact on the way that we play the game, and it's going to be interesting to see how this changes the meta into the future. Smoke is getting a nice quality of life improvement with his gadget, where now instead of the toss being like you're throwing C4, where you just toss it 2 feet in front of you, you're now going to be able to throw this thing like you're throwing a grenade. This is going to make it a lot easier to place it exactly where you want to. In my opinion, this is going to be a great quality of life improvement for smoke players. It's going to make the gadget a hell of a lot more versatile. You don't need to be directly next to where the enemy's breaching on in to get this where you want it to, and it'll allow you to move much more freely around the map and toss this wherever you want. Bandit and Glaz are also going to be seeing some changes. Bandit is now getting a 4th battery, so he's going from 3 to 4, which is going to give him more options. And Glaz's rifle is now going to have less recoil, a faster rate of fire, and an extra magazine. I'm really interested to see how this is going to change Glaz. I mean, Glaz is really weak right now, and while I don't think that this is going to be a game changer, I don't think that Glaz is all of a sudden going to be one of the best operators in the game, having that rate of fire increase and also less recoil is going to make his life a hell of a lot easier. And then finally, 4 of the submachine guns are going to be seeing a reduction in their recoil, making them much more accurate. This is going to be Frost's submachine gun, Caveira's smokes, and the UMP for, of course, Castle and Pulse. We don't know how much of a reduction it is, but if I had to take a guess, these things are going to be much more laser beam. The reasoning for doing this is that a lot of these guns didn't really hit as hard as the assault rifles, but they had about the same amount of recoil as assault rifles, and they wanted to remedy that. Then the final thing that's coming with this update is that we're getting a brand new map called Bartlett University. This patch is gigantic. This has to be the largest mid-season patch that we have ever gotten in Rainbow Six Siege, and at least so far, it's looking fantastic. I know that some people are going to be a little turned off by the Blackbeard nerf. I know that that's going to rub some people the wrong way, but the buff to the SMGs, Smoke's gadget, Bandit Glaz, Tachanka buff, all in all, I think that this is going to be a fantastic patch, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this on December 15th. But yeah, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Give me your thoughts on all of this content. Are you excited by what you hear? Are you disappointed? Let me know down below. But yeah, until tomorrow, have a good one, and take it easy.